What is the best cryptocurrency to invest in 2021? That's what I looked at in this last video, and my oh my, did that video age well. We're going to be looking at those 10 top cryptos again, and I'm going to be telling you the biggest mistake that I made with these cryptos and the new setup that I'm using in this market. So without further ado, let's dive right in. This is the video that I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it yet, feel free to go check it out. I go into more detail about the actual names and the companies behind them. But in this video, I'm just going to be looking at the technicals and see where these names actually went on the charts and how much you would have made if you would have invested. If you're into crypto and you like videos like this, then hit that subscribe button. We talk about crypto, but also we talk about the stock market, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and how to make money from trading, as well as other things like Amazon FBA, self-development, becoming the best version of yourself. So hit that subscribe button to join us now and smash up the like button as well because you like this video. The first one we're looking at is LTO. This is the LTO network, and the red line in this video is the last video. So I shot this video on February 9th. So anytime you see this red line, that is February 9th. That's where I last looked at it. So we looked at it right here, and in that video, I was screaming about reload zones. Don't jump in at these. Don't chase these names. Wait for reload zones. So for example, a reload zone would be something like from here to here. Right here, it came close to the 61.8, closer to the 38.2 or the 50% level. So this level is the new setup that I'm looking at. This area right here between the 38.2, which is a Fibonacci level, and the 50% level, which is a GAN level, WD GAN. Between those levels is where these cryptos seem to want to go in a bull market. If we're in a bear market, then I stick to my original thesis that it should come back down to the reload zone between 61.8 and 78.6, oftentimes even lower. So what happened with this chart is it kept on going, it pulled back to the reload zone where it's the perfect place to buy, and now it's going up like crazy. I still wouldn't say invest in it, but what would I do here? You would draw a reload zone from the bottom to the top here, and right over here again, it's come back to this level. But this is the level where I would be buying in order to jump in on this market. Now, it's important to know with this level, if it breaks below those levels, then you should just get out, because these cryptos are extremely risky and they can dump 80 to 90% in a few days and nobody in the world even knows about it. So be really, really careful with investing your hard-earned money in these markets. Moving on to the next one. This next one is Luna or Terra, and I said, of course, same thing. Don't buy until it comes back down to this reload zone around 61.8 to 78.6. But this was my big mistake. In these fast moving markets, they don't often come down all this way. I've been so used to bear markets in crypto. So right now, what happened here was that it just took off. So if you bought this pretty much any time during this consolidation, you would be doing very, very well right now. It's gone over 100%, I think, from where I actually made this video. Yeah, 260%. So that aged well, but there just wasn't a good time to get into it. And I don't recommend just throwing your money into something because it can age well. So be really careful where you invest your money. But this one happened to do really, really well. The next one we're looking at is Algo. Now, I made the video over here at February 9th, and it just kept on going. And this is an example of something where it did come back down to a reload zone. As you can see, the 61.8 got tagged right here, and you would still be in this trade profitable. But there's also another setup which I want to tell you about right now. It's not just the 38.2 to the 50% level, which is a great place to buy for these fast moving markets. But also there's another setup. When it comes into these levels and puts a W in price, then you want to be thinking about buying. So look at this W in price. It's now coming down to the bottom of this W. A warning. If it breaks down below these lows here, below this wick right here, then you should just get out and buy safely when it comes back down to these levels. However, from this level right here, in this area, it could just go and put in another double right over here, pushing up beyond this high and breaking out. So it may not be a double. Yeah, it would be. look at that, 100% is only up to $2.2, and it wouldn't be that far away. So this is the type of name where you could buy right here in this zone, but if it breaks down below, make sure you get out. Look at this. I made the video right over here, and I said wait for a reload zone down to like 0.03, and it just never happened. It never came. It just, so if you draw a reload zone from the bottom to the top here, you can see that it came down to this 38.2 to 50% level. That's why that's my new strategy going forward, right over here in this zone between WD GAN and the first Fibonacci level. That's a really, really good level for a fast moving market. They like to pull back a little bit, maybe down to the 50% level where WD GAN is, and then they just take off again. So that's my new kind of setup. When I made the video, I was right down here saying, you know, buy down here at the 61.8. It never came. So you got to be able to adjust, and I am now adjusting. For example, Komodo. This is one where the reload zone actually worked, and it's a reason why that's where you want to be having your main investment levels. Look at this. I made the video around about here, and I said on the reload zone at the time, let me just draw the reload zone where I drew it, was around about here, and I said that you want to be getting in at the reload zone down here at 61.8. It never came down to those levels, but if you were just patient and you waited for this crazy blow off top here and you drew a reload zone to this top here after these big red candles had come in, then look at what happened. It almost came down to the 61.8, but if you drew it from this range right over here, it did hit that 61.8. Regardless, it came down to the 38.2 to 50% level, and even if you drew the entire range right over here, we're on Bittrex right here, it came down to the 61.8 level right over here. Look at this wick! Isn't that an incredible wick? It's amazing. So if you would have just set your orders and forgot them and left them in the reload zone, then look at where you would have been buying right now, and you would be on 80% profit, and you know, you got very close to a double right here, and it just doesn't look like it's slowing down. Now, where would you get in right now? Well, you could draw a reload zone from this giant wick. So from this wick to the top, and remember, if it keeps going up from here, you know, if it keeps going up like it did before, then just redraw your reload zone as it keeps going up, and then reset your orders at the 61.8 level, right? So you've got your, right now it's over here, so the 61.8 level will be right down here into these wicks, so that's where I would say you could jump back into this. Moving on to Cortex, CTXC. When I made this video, I actually said that because we are in a reload zone, this is a good time to buy. Here I am saying that in this video. And right now, we are in a potential reload zone. So you could go in and start dollar cost averaging into this right now. This is a crypto you can buy right now. So here we were in the reload zone when I said it's okay to buy. And look what happened. We shot up and produced a double. So even from the 61.8 level, you could see that we produced 140% profit. Now, if you had missed that and you wanted to get in again, you would draw a reload zone from this bottom to this high, and look where we came down to, back into the reload zone at 61.8. And if you would have bought this reload zone at 61.8, then you would have doubled again. 2 doubles on this name, so this one aged really, really well. I mean, it's just incredible. You can see why we don't like to chase markets. You want to wait for them to pull back either to the 38.2 or 50% level. If it keeps breaking down like it did over here, if you would have bought it at this level and it broke down, you just get out, you wait for the 61.8 level to get hit, you rebuy in, and then you can sell half on a double or whatever your trading strategy happens to be. But you have to wait for these pullbacks. You cannot just buy when they're pumping. Okay, be really, really careful. The next one we looked at was Uniswap. So this is a really popular name. We looked at it right over here, and again, I had said come down, wait for the pullbacks, you know, wait for the 61.8. It never pulled back. Even if you waited for the 38.2, didn't quite hit it. But if you redrew your reload zone on this pump over here and it started pulling back, then guess what? You would have been buying in at this 38.2 to 50% level right on this wick over here. And so far, you would be doing A-okay. You'd be up about 50%. So that's not so bad, considering the stock market takes 5 years to hit 50% growth on average. This is 2 weeks. I mean, come on, it's a few months. It's nothing. So absolutely incredible. Let's move on. This next one is Chainlink, and like I said, you don't want to be chasing these markets. This is an example. Why? Because this market has barely done anything. You could see where we looked at it, where I said the reload zones were. It did come down to this 38.2 to 50% level, and you would just be sitting on this right now and waiting. We are very, very close to that level. And in fact, if you draw a reload zone from this range over here, you can see that the 38.2 to 50% level, we're right in that range right now. So if you wanted to buy it right here, you could for a continuation move higher. But remember, this isn't investing in deep reload zones. This is trading in a zone where you're about to go for another push. So you want to make sure that you have your stops, and if it breaks down below these levels, you are able to get the F out of that market, because I don't want to be responsible for any of you losing money. So I'm just saying that right here. Besides, I'm not financial advice. This is all edutainment anyway, so you do with your money what you like. So Link here is good for a continuation pattern higher, but if it breaks, then make sure you get out. Let's move on to the next one. Library is a name which I love personally because I've made so many doubles on this. You can see I bought it into Bitcoin and I made a double here, I made a double here. I've been selling into this. But let's look at it from US dollars. We looked at it around this date right over here, and it just kept on going. So if you would have drawn a reload zone, again, I was telling you guys to wait for this 61.8 level. It didn't quite get to those levels on any of these names. As I've been saying, in a raging bull market, it seems to love to come into this 38.2 to 50% level. So right over here is where you would be buying. And again, you would be doing very well on that continuation trade if you did that. Moving on to AAVE. So this is one we looked at right over here, and this is an example of why you don't chase these markets. Look at what happened. I say don't chase, and it dumps down. Now, some of them have gone really far up, but that doesn't mean that you should have bad behaviors in trading just because some things pump. You could have bought GME, GameStop, at $200 and sold it at $400. That doesn't mean that's good trading, because most assets don't do that. So you can't build these bad behaviors in trading, otherwise you'll end up losing money in the long term. So here is an example of where you may have lost money if you chase this. It came all the way back down here, right? So if I had drawn this reload zone, which I've drawn here, drawn from bottom to the top right here, you can see that it's come right into this 38.2 to 50% level. So if you are wanting to buy for a trade, for a continuation, right now AAVE is okay to buy. However, with a caveat, if it breaks down below these levels, then just get out and wait for it to consolidate in a deeper reload zone. So that's what's going on with AAVE right now. Now looking at the last one that I looked at, one of my favorite ones, because in the video I had said that I just bought it, and wow, what a result that has happened so far from this. So this is Filecoin, one of my favorite names right now, just because I really like the story, really interesting, and I'm making money from it. So I bought it right down here, and just one day later, you can't even see it because of this red line right here. You can see this massive green pump right here. I was selling right into this, selling half on a double, and then it pulled back. So where did it pull back to? Actually did pull back to the 61.8 level. So if you wanted to get in on a reload zone, you would have done it on this wick right here. But even if you just bought in this 50% to 38.2, this WD GAN level, then you would be doing very, very well. And right over here, you would have made another 100%. So what's annoying is that I had a sell order working right over here, right at the top, and it came so close to my sell order, but it didn't. So that's a little bit annoying. But right now, I'm just waiting for this to sort of consolidate. You can see it's broken these lows just about here, so it has put in an M. So right now, I should be getting out. But because I'm already on a free position on this, I've sold half on a double, I've got my investment back, so I'm not really super worried about what's going on right now. So if it does come all the way back down, I'm going to reload and buy again, and if it keeps going up, I'm just going to keep selling. So those are the names that were analyzed in that previous video. You can see how well it aged. Almost all of those coins have continued to go up, and maybe half of them have come back into reload zones where you could have just bought more. Now, you can't catch them all. You see, I didn't get in on all of these. I only got in on some of them. And I'm not a pro trader. I can't say that I'm a pro trader. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an expert at this, but you can see that these are some of the names that are doing really, really well in 2021, and I believe they will continue to do well going into the end of the year and even next year. But don't chase. Only buy those reload zones. Only buy those dips. Buy the dips, as they say. But these are the specific locations of the dips, the 38.2 to the 50% level, and you saw many of these coins came down to the 61.8 level and the 78.6 right down into the reload zone. So that's where is a really good place to buy. I do not recommend chasing. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and smash the like if you like these cryptos, and let me know in the comments which one of these cryptos you're in and if you have any other names that you want me to have a look at. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.